Hi everyone, I'm starting a playlist of video series in which I will be talking about the biases that impact our decision making. The topic of biases is also referred to as decision making traps, judgment shortcuts, heuristics, and it may have other terms as well. Biases come in different forms. On one hand, they help speeding up our decision making. However, they also can harm the quality of our decision making in many ways. Please stay with me until the end of this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos on this topic and more. We're going to start with the definition of bias. We use unconscious routines to cope with the complexity inherent in most decisions. These routines are known as heuristics or biases. Now, what is the outcome of the bias? As the name Judgement Shortcuts reveals, they help speeding up the decisions, but they also can act as a blind spot or a mask that reduces our ability to see different alternatives and create traps that harm our decisions. For the rest of this video, I will focus on the availability bias, one of the many forms of biases, and in the future videos in this playlist, I will include examples and information on other forms. So, availability bias is a mental shortcut that bases one's judgment on readily available information or on immediate examples that come to a given person's mind. One example of it would be that if someone recalls something more easily, the person may consider it more important than other alternatives that can help his problem or be useful in the decision. So in this case, the availability bias prevents us from exploring more alternatives, and we will only stay with the examples that come into our mind more easily. Another example would be that one seeks out only information and sources that are available and familiar to one. So if we're, let's say, doing a project and we need information from multiple sources, we may just go and find the information that is easily available to us, and that will cause us to miss out on more information which may be as important, if not more, that are not as available to us. So this is the issue with the availability bias. It can result in making decisions without fully exploring all angles of the solution. In the next slides, I'm going to go through a couple of examples. The first one is more of a life example. John wants to invest in real estate. He approaches his friend Bob, who is a realtor agent, and solely relies on him for advice. In this example, John only used one source, his friend Bob, who was familiar to him. Thus, he limits his choices only to options that Bob will recommend. Now, there may be other realtors who have more information or who may be more equipped to fulfill the needs of John. So John will miss out on those alternatives because he's only using his friend Bob's recommendation and advice. Why? Because he's more available to him. He's more familiar to him. Another example, which is more of a work example. Carol is collecting data for her project, which involves employee information. Employees' information in the company that Carol works is stored in multiple sources. Let's say Salesforce, Workday, and Confluence. She has already access to Workday and is quite familiar with Workday. However, she needs to ask for access to Confluence and Salesforce, and she doesn't know them well enough to navigate through them. So she only collects data from Workday and does not consider or explore information in Confluence and Salesforce. In this example, availability bias has caused Carol to collect insufficient information as she has not expected or explored information in other systems. The result will be that Carol will be making decisions based on insufficient information in her project. So what is the best way to reduce biases, and not only availability bias, all biases? Identify the root cause of why you keep falling into this bias or this trap. After you identify the root cause, you problem solve to eliminate the root cause as opposed to the symptom. I strongly recommend that after watching this video, go and watch my video on lean problem solving techniques, which helps you to explore the root cause and problem solve the root cause in a lean manner, in an efficient manner. That being said, there are some general tips to battle and reduce availability bias. It's not always possible to eliminate, but there are tips that can help you to reduce it. One is explore sources that are not easily available to you and make a conscious effort to seek other points of view. So proactively tell yourself that, okay, am I only considering information and sources familiar to me? If so, I should proactively make a conscious effort and seek other points of view and seek other information, other sources. Watch overall trends and patterns as opposed to only recent and available events. You might think of an example because for whatever reason it's more familiar to you, or maybe because it's happened in a recent scenario. Instead, broaden your horizons. Consider overall statistics as opposed to dealing with only the people and sources close to you for stats. Similar for statistics. If you want statistics, broaden your horizons. Research using a diverse set of sources. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos on the topic of biases. In this playlist, I will include more examples and information on other forms of biases, such as confirmation bias, anchoring bias, and more. And definitely looking forward to posting more information on this topic and more.